For months, their names had appeared side by side in quiet whispers, never confirmed, never denied. Many believed it was simply professional chemistry or carefully managed public perception. But on that evening, under bright lights and countless cameras, something felt different. His pauses were longer, his gaze lingered, and the atmosphere carried a sense that something real was about to unfold. There are moments in public life when silence feels safer than truth. For celebrities, especially those at the peak of their careers, avoiding personal questions is almost an unwritten rule. Yet, when that long-anticipated question was finally asked, Chen Zheyuan chose a different path. What made his response remarkable was not volume or drama, but restraint. He did not attempt to soften his words with humour, nor did he hide behind ambiguity. Instead, he paused, collected himself, and spoke with quiet resolve. That pause alone spoke volumes. It revealed hesitation, courage, and a clear understanding of the weight his words carried. In that brief moment, the atmosphere shifted. The audience sensed that this was not a calculated statement, but a personal decision. His honesty felt deliberate rather than impulsive, a choice made after reflection, not pressure. It was bravery expressed through calmness, not spectacle. For many viewers, this answer felt rare and genuine. It reminded them that courage does not always arrive loudly. Sometimes it appears in a steady voice, a composed expression, and a willingness to stand by one's feelings in full view of the world. If his confession was defined by courage, then Li Tam's response was defined by grace. She was not given time to prepare, nor space to retreat. Yet she met the moment with remarkable composure, choosing warmth over haste and sincerity over definition. Rather than rushing to label emotions or clarify outcomes, she acknowledged his honesty with genuine appreciation. Her words were careful but not distant, gentle but not evasive. In doing so, she demonstrated a rare emotional intelligence, one that respects both personal boundaries and public sensitivity. What resonated deeply with audiences was her balance. She neither confirmed nor denied the future, allowing the moment to remain human rather than transactional. This restraint gave her response authenticity. It suggested that real emotions do not always demand immediate conclusions. Viewers interpreted her reaction as a form of quiet affirmation, not of certainty, but of respect. In an environment where women are often expected to respond decisively and publicly, her choice to speak softly felt empowering. It reminded many that dignity lies not in instant answers, but in thoughtful presence. Her grace transformed the moment from a single confession into a shared emotional exchange. In an era where online reactions often escalate into extremes, the public response to this moment unfolded in an unexpectedly gentle way. Rather than outrage or division, the prevailing emotion was warmth. Across platforms, viewers expressed surprise, admiration, and a quiet sense of joy. What stood out was the tone. Comments were reflective rather than sensational. Fans spoke about sincerity, courage, and emotional maturity. Many described feeling moved rather than shocked, as though they had witnessed something personal rather than performative. Creative tributes soon followed. Old interviews, subtle interactions, and fleeting glances were revisited with new meaning. These edits were not driven by obsession, but by affection, an attempt to understand the story through accumulated moments rather than isolated headlines. Even those who were not devoted followers found themselves pausing. The event resonated beyond fandom because it tapped into something universal, the vulnerability of speaking one's truth. The reaction proved that audiences are not always seeking drama. Sometimes they respond most strongly to authenticity. In that collective calm, the internet revealed its softer side, capable of empathy, patience, and quiet celebration. Public confessions are not new, yet this one carried a distinct emotional weight. It did not feel staged or timed for maximum attention. Instead, it unfolded naturally, without dramatic framing or exaggerated language. That simplicity is precisely what made it memorable. This moment felt different because it respected both the audience and the individuals involved. There was no attempt to manipulate sentiment or provoke controversy. The focus remained on honesty, not outcome. Another reason lies in timing. Both individuals are at important stages in their careers, where personal exposure is often discouraged. Choosing openness under such circumstances suggested confidence rather than recklessness. It conveyed a sense of emotional responsibility. Moreover, the exchange avoided certainty. It did not promise a fairy tale ending, nor did it invite speculation. By leaving space for interpretation, it allowed viewers to engage without pressure. In an industry often driven by control, this moment felt human. It reminded audiences that not all stories need conclusions to feel complete. Sometimes sincerity alone is enough to leave a lasting impression. Once the event ended and the cameras shifted away, the story did not escalate. It softened. The following hours were marked not by lengthy statements, but by subtle gestures. A photograph, a quiet caption, a simple expression of gratitude. These understated actions carried emotional continuity. They suggested that what had been shared publicly was not impulsive, but grounded in mutual respect. Nothing was over-explained, and nothing was withdrawn. Observers noticed the calm that followed. There were no denials, no corrections, no urgency to reshape the narrative. This silence felt intentional, as though both parties trusted the moment to speak for itself. For fans, this restraint deepened the emotional impact. It reinforced the idea that authenticity does not require constant validation. The absence of noise allowed reflection, turning a fleeting headline into a lingering memory. In many ways, what happened after the lights dimmed mattered just as much as what happened on the stage. It revealed consistency, a quiet alignment between words and actions. At its core, this was not merely a celebrity story. It was a reminder of something timeless, the power of honesty. In a world saturated with performance and expectation, witnessing genuine emotion felt refreshing. This moment resonated because it reflected emotions most people recognize: hesitation, courage, appreciation, and restraint. It did not present love as perfect or complete, but as sincere and unfolding. For many viewers, it stirred a sense of hope, not the dramatic hope of grand romance, but the quiet belief that authenticity still has a place in public life. That speaking truthfully, even when uncertain, remains meaningful. It reminded audiences that love does not always arrive with certainty. Sometimes it begins with a brave sentence and a graceful response. Sometimes that is enough to move millions. Long after the headlines fade, what remains is the feeling. And perhaps that is why this moment continues to linger, because it spoke not to spectacle, but to the heart. If you enjoyed this story and would like more thoughtful, emotional, and respectful coverage of Asian entertainment, don't forget to subscribe to LVT-SHOWBIZ. Your support helps us continue bringing you stories that go beyond headlines and into the heart of showbiz. Leave your thoughts in the comments, turn on notifications, and thank you for being part of the LVT-SHOWBIZ community.